Oh yeah, you already know what time it is. Time for some UFO 50. So, chat, I gotta be honest with you. Spotify's kind of pissing me off a little bit. I went to try and pick a song for my dailies. For those of you that don't know, I like to. I've been doing this song a day project for a bit, for over a year. Oh, slowly approaching on 2 years now. Holy shit. I was gonna try to pick a song, a Brian Eno song called Dead Finks Don't Talk. And apparently, oh boy, apparently so. Apparently that whole album just isn't on Spotify anymore. So yeah, if you wanted a banger today, you still got a banger. I picked a Stevie Wonder song, having his 10 zillion light years away. I'm not that familiar with Sir Stevie Wonder. I should say, at least with his deep cuts. I wouldn't be surprised if like every song of it. Oh. That's what I get for yapping. I wouldn't be surprised if like every song of Stevie Wonder's was, top 10 hit. But yeah, I'm kind of unfamiliar with the deep cuts. I'm also kind of unfamiliar with Brian Eno, his deep cuts as well. But I do know that whole album's actually pretty goated with the sauce. I'm not goated with the sauce, but thank you for asking. I appreciate that. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know why that's not on Spotify. That's the one thing I can't stand about Spotify. I usually use it as a last ditch resort for anything involving music. I like to make sure that I have things locally because I own the album on CD. So I have that going for me. I keep jumping when I don't want to jump. Pay attention to what you're doing. I'm not Northern Line. I can't yap while I play these games, brother. Oh, if you came here for good gameplay, you're not getting it. But I appreciate you watching nonetheless. I enjoy having my albums physically, okay? I try to collect CDs whenever I can. I haven't been doing a whole lot of it lately, but it's a nice little hobby to have, especially when moments like this arise. Don't have access to the albums on streaming because someone didn't want to pay the licensing fee or whatever. Oh my god. There's just so much shit that isn't on streaming. You guys don't understand. And that's the thing that frustrates me. There's a whole world of music out there, and if you're relying on streaming services to give it to you, you're kind of setting yourself up for failure. To be perfectly honest with you. Sorry, I was trying to make sure that I wasn't about to get absolutely throttled. And oh my god, I'm goated with the sauce. We don't need to talk about that. Okay. So, it's been a minute since I played this. I only played it yesterday, a recording session of it to try and actually make a edited video, and I decided against doing that. I'm just going to one and gun it now, and act like I know what I'm talking about. My main goal here is I just want to get to the top of the leaderboards, man. That's all that I want. And with bullshit plays like that, I don't think I'm getting very far. But no! What are you doing? I was hitting my friends. I know I don't have a display on, but I was hitting up. I was hitting the directions to not careen directly into the wall. It's a difficult thing trying to talk about streaming, especially with Spotify. They've been in a lot of hot water lately, and for good reason. Reasons we don't necessarily need to get into in this video, but if you know, you know. And it's just a shame that music consumption has kind of just been delegated and relegated to streaming services. There's entire worlds out there that just you won't find on your Spotify's or Apple Music's and whatnot. And it sucks. It sucks. There really is no proper vessel to actually get all the music you want. There's so many different splintering paths and just a bunch of licensing nonsense, and it's like I'm thankful for stuff like Bandcamp to an extent. You can, you got the middleman, you got the underdogs on there. That's where the underdogs thrive. Directly to consumer. You don't really get that with streaming. It's just like whatever got the biggest pay push that day. It just sucks. There's so much good music out there. Like, there's an album that was for some reason only released in Japan from a band called the Semantics. And it's a phenomenal power pop album. Absolutely amazing power pop. If you like that kind of scene, then you're gonna really enjoy that. But you have to, if you're not on SoulSeek, then you have to either get it on YouTube where it sounds like you're listening to it underwater because the audio quality is dog shit, or you have to buy an import from Japan so that way you have those files on you at any point, unless you don't take care of your CDs, in which case why are you collecting music to begin with? That just seems really counterintuitive. That's one of the whole points about collecting, is that you have that and you can fall back on it. I've made my mistakes when I first started out my music collecting. When I was super young, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like, oh my god, I got the music. Oh my god, thanks mom. Thank you, Santa Claus. My mom isn't Santa Claus, by the way, in case you were thinking that. I do appreciate you asking. She is not Santa Claus. Jury's still out on my father, though. It's kind of hard to ask him on account he passed away. But, I don't know. I'd like to think that sometimes he might actually have been Santa Claus the whole time, and he's just chilling up in the North Pole. And if that's the case, more power to him. He wants to help out every other child except his own. But, he always tried to be a nice guy. He always a nice, helpful guy. So I can understand it. I appreciate it. But I would just not really know what I was doing and have my CDs all a mess, and it's all jewel cases and whatnot. I was just a kid. But I lost out on so much of my collection, and I never even marked it down. I didn't even think to catalog any of it. I'd like to think I got most of it back. I'm not entirely fucking. Oh, I'm getting raw dogged here. I'm getting raw dogged. I'm not getting very far with this technique I got going on here. Basically, if you get anything out of this video, out of this yapping and trapping here, it's just collect your CDs, brother. Make sure you don't lose out on that. And if you do collect your CDs, make sure you're taking care of them to the best you can. Don't just leave the discs lying around. Don't be using them as coasters. I know some bands, like NoFX, they have albums where they're meant to be used as coasters. If you bought it on vinyl, they'd be used as frisbees. Just love the world, love what you get, love what you give, love what you put in and what you get out. It yields sweet fruit. I'm gonna fucking yield shit in a second, to be honest, because I kind of keep forgetting how to play the goddamn game I've been playing. Like, I'm not low-key obsessed with this. I've been trying to get this high score for way too damn long, I tell you what. Oh, what are these moves? I circled back, I circled back, I circled back, I circled back. Why did I do that? And I keep forgetting to jump. Even if I jumped, I don't think I would have made it. I would have jumped onto one of the other obbies. No, but no, we're doing good. We're having a good old time. We're having a good old time. I enjoy this game, even if I'm not very good at it. That's the beauty of UFO 50. That's the understated thing about UFO 50. Because for the most part, the games they're well constructed. And even if you're not doing a good job, if you played it enough, you kind of understand what it is that you're doing and you learn from there. They kind of hold your hand to an extent, even though they don't give you klaxons when an enemy is very obviously telegraphing their next move and you're not paying attention because you're too busy trying to compliment the game that you're playing. Paying attention is for chumps. You didn't come here because you wanted someone to pay attention. You came here to hear gameplay loop of Magic Garden. And maybe you came here to hear me yap about music, because I love music. If I could have a career in talking about music, I tell you what, I would do it in a heartbeat. I mentioned this on social media. I don't remember if it was on Twitter or not, probably Blue Sky, but I'm like, I would kind of... If it weren't so much responsibility, I would love to try to be a music critic or a music reviewer. Because that's something that I love focusing on the little details of whatever it is that I'm listening to and try to deduce what's going on, try to figure out these songs. I'm not figuring out where I'm going. But there's a certain magic to it. But if you ever get a platform like that, you notice it every single time when a popular music reviewer, like, let's say, Needle Drop. He's like the biggest one that I can think of right now. I'm sure he's not the only one. But you get an audience, and your audience starts parroting whatever it is that you're saying, whether they agree with it or not. They're like, oh, well, this guy, he knows what he's talking about. I'm a fan of his, so I'm just gonna repeat what he's saying. It's like watching dead meat and saying that you've seen the films that they're talking about because you've watched their analysis. It's like, no, buddy, you don't have the experience of actually listening or watching that film, listening to that music. You just have what some schlub in their opinion thinks. Like, if I could be a music reviewer and somehow negate that, that would be amazing. Because I don't want to be like, oh, hey. I want to shine a light onto the music that's being presented. Oh my god. I'm eating ass, bro. And it is not a tasty ass, this one. You want to shine a light so that way you're encouraged to go check it out and form an opinion of it yourself. Instead of just going on and giving it a high rating or a low rating. Going on Rate Your Music and hitting it with a low rating just because some guy on the internet with an audience and an opinion said something. It's just... if we can negate that and, engage with what we're listening to, not necessarily critically, but just actually engaging with it at all, and finding actual reasons to want to go back to something. Because it doesn't make sense to me to want to live vicariously through other people's opinions on things. Because, they don't necessarily know everything, Like, I don't know how to play this game. Because people have their own tastes and whatnot. Like, you can't go to a video game reviewer that absolutely despises RPGs, and then expect them to have an opinion on an RPG. Unless it's like, to kind of paraphrase a Donkey video, it's like if they're known for not liking an RPG, and then they do a review on an RPG and they're like, hey, you know, actually this is fucking good. Like, this is kind of, like, this is changing everything. Then yeah, you know, perk your ear up, listen for a little bit. I think people are just, they're trying to get the experience of these things without actually experiencing it for themselves. Which, I mean, that's just human nature. We all have a limited time on this earth. We can't just spend it watching every single movie, listening to every single song, playing every single video game. And people have personalities, and personalities are what you get drawn to. That's why Let's Plays and shit, and streamers on Twitch and whatnot, they're so popular. It's like, more or less watching a buddy playing a game, or at least in your mind, they're a buddy. Sometimes they are actually your friend, and sometimes you wish they were your friend. You'd wish that they would give you a hug and a pat in the back, maybe a smooch on the cheek, but it's usually frowned upon in most situations. There's a term for that I'm conveniently forgetting. Parasociality. There it is. Like, I'm feeling pretty parasocial with that wall. That's why I wanted to bounce into it, check in on it, see how it's doing. It wasn't accepting visitors at the time, but that's just how it is. I want to get at least one good run before I end this video. It's been, what is it, 17 minutes or so. I don't think I've gotten a single good round. Oh, it doesn't help when I keep doing stuff like that. I gotta focus on this. I'm at that point where I can kind of just yap and pay attention. I'm letting that potion fester for a bit, because I think that'd be the wisest course of action. Actually, now would be the best course of action. It's starting to fill it up with blue. Oh, wait a minute. I think we got some gold. We got some gold here. Oh, fuck. I fucked up. Okay. It's all about to get the points. It's all about saying hello to the wall, checking in on them. They weren't accepting visitors still. I don't know what I gotta do. I don't know what kind of money they want me to say hi, hello. Because it's usually coming down to bribery. I started listening to the newest Gorillaz album the other day. Kind of had to stop that a little bit. Oh my god, kind of had to stop that a little bit, only because I was not focusing on it, I'm gonna be honest with you. From what I've been hearing people saying about it, it's a very heavy album, probably should keep all my focus on it, and I got to the second track and I realized I was not paying attention to that. But I'm kind of glad that people, they seem to be really enjoying that new Gorillaz album. At the very least, like, going on Rate Your Music, last time I checked, it was sitting at a pretty high 3, I think it was like 3.6 or something last I checked, which I'm sure some people would say that, well, you know, that's not really a high number, but you gotta understand that you're not gonna get okay computer numbers every single time, buddy. If an average is above 3.3, I feel like the meta for Rate Your Music, oh my god. I feel like the meta for Rate Your Music would be indicating, like, no, that album's pretty damn goated. But you also kind of have to pay attention to the amount of ratings, because if I see an album that has a very high rating, I kind of don't trust like that. Unless it has, like, at least 1,000 people rating it. maybe more than that. I don't even know, because a lot of, like I was talking about earlier, you know, you get a lot of these hate watchers or hate viewers, and they go to it, they flock to it, and they turn it off. You know, they turn it off. They turn it off for other people because they know people are looking only at the scores, and they're like, well, I'm going to give it a low rating, or I'm going to make an account exclusively to give it a high rating, and you're just inflating the numbers, and things don't add up the way that they should. And that's the beauty of rating music, is everyone there is biased, and it's only a good thing when it benefits you. It's only a good thing if it benefits you, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes you just want to go to an album with a kind of lower rating, but you love that band, you want to you give it a higher rating, and all of a sudden you refresh the page, you see that little decimal point go up. It's like I'm playing Cookie Clicker, but it feels like the decimal point means something this time, because it's in real time for something beyond the scope of just a video game. Like, if I'm playing Cookie Clicker, I'm not actually making cookies here. But if I'm on Rate Your Music, I'm rating that music, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes I might even give it a tag. Sometimes I might even leave a comment in the comment box, unless, for whatever reason, the mods got rid of the comment box on that release. They've been doing that a lot lately, and I think that that's kind of bullshit, because I get that sometimes discussions get heated, but I feel like it's, you know, sometimes you gotta let the conversations get heated, and I mean, if people are being assholes, then yeah, step in, delete those comments, but get rid of the conversation entirely. I feel like that's just completely counterintuitive to the whole point of a website like Reading Music. Granted, are there comment boxes where it's full of children saying dumb shit? Of course. Absolutely. It's full of dumb children saying dumb shit. But, like, that's when you just make fun of them for being dumb children and go about your business. I feel like the comment sections that do need to get moved on that site are the ones where it's just people making funny memes that aren't actually funny, and then just a constant swarm of times two, because people just love repeating the exact same joke without adding anything or actually doing anything with it. Which, I mean, that's kind of how it was growing up in general. Like, the new Adam Sandler movie came out, you kind of have to know the quotes to survive in the world. But I feel like it's a different thing when you're referencing shit with your friends, and then there's going online and just repeating what every other comment is saying. It's like you're not really adding anything to the conversation when you do that. This might be the best one yet, actually. I might actually... Oh my god. See, when you talk about shit you care about, I might actually... Ladies and gentlemen, I'm floored. I'm on the floor now. But I got it. I got the middle score. I got the 5,000. All I was doing was yapping about Rate Your Music, and I don't even think I finished that whole thought. But, I mean, that's a 6. I got above 5,000. That was the main goal. Oh, boy. I think I'm going to have to call it here. It's been about 24 minutes or so, and I'm just going to upload this whole shebang on YouTube. Thank you for watching. If you've been watching this far, I do appreciate it. Do kind of want to try to get more UFO 50 videos out and about in the wild. If you want to hear me yap about different things, if there's anything else you want me to try and play, please let me know. Let me know in the comment section below, and I'm going to leave you to it. You all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all soon.